Are you longing to feel less overwhelmed? Are you wishing for clarity in your decision making? Or longing for lucidity in your thinking? Are you seeking confidence in your communications? The solution is at your fingertips. It's paper and pen. I'm Brandy Agerbeck of loosetooth.com, and I am thrilled to introduce you to my new book, The Idea Shapers, the power of putting your thinking into your own hands. So this book is built on a lifetime of drawing experience. So I was that kid who drew all the time. Get my ideas, my thoughts, my feelings out on paper. To use drawing as a first step, that first action into making something great happen. 20 years ago, I became a graphic facilitator. In that role, I make large-scale live drawings of my clients' conversations and presentations. So I get to think and draw for a living. It's thrilling. And in that role, I see the power of visual thinking, how getting those conversations on paper help people be more collaborative, be more engaged. And as gratifying and great as that work has been, I've been the one person in the room drawing for a group of people. And that's why I'm so darn excited about the new book, because this book is about you developing your own visual thinking skills to put the power into your own hands. So let me introduce you to the structure of the book. The first section is the case for drawing. And a lot of you are watching this and thinking, drawing's scary, I don't draw. This is about what makes drawing such a powerful thinking tool. First, I start out with the inherent properties that make it powerful. So the fact that drawing is simple. Simple paper and pen, something to draw with and something to draw on. It's also, as you'll see in the Idea Shapers, simple actions, simple shapes, simple lines, and how much you can do with that. The second property is that it's tangible. Oh my goodness. How many times have I been saved by just getting all that stuff out of my head and onto a sheet of paper? How great that is at reducing that feeling of being overwhelmed. The third property is it's spatial. So, we're used to text, we're used to books, words on screens, words in books, lined up from left to right and top to bottom. The beautiful thing about drawing is it allows you to go in any direction on the page. And that spatial nature was wonderful for working with complexity, showing interdependencies, showing how all the different pieces of a problem fit together. The fourth property is it's physical. As my friend Larissa says, I can learn anything if I can make it a craft project. Yeah. So when you're making these physical drawings, you're making choices about color, about scale, about proximity, about style. All those different choices that you're also making meaning for yourself. And it's those four properties, that it's simple, tangible, spatial, and physical, that make drawing such a wonderfully adaptive and powerful thinking tool. Now, if you'd like to read more, this section, the powers and properties of drawing, are one of the sample chapters you'll find at theideashapers.com. So go on over there and read some more. Now, after that, I describe a model called the Draw Quad. It's a 2x2 matrix that talks about 4 different types of drawing. You can find that model on my homepage at loosetooth.com. Look for the Brandifesto. There's an overview page around the model there. Now, in these 4 types of drawing, I'm trying to broaden your definition of drawing. And this book focuses on this yellow corner. It's drawing to think through your own ideas. Now, my work as a graphic facilitator, it's performative, it's public, I'm drawing in front of other people. That probably sounds terrifying. Happily, it's not for me, so that's good. But this corner is about personal drawing. All that matters is what happens between you and that piece of paper, and it's process focused. This is not a beauty contest. This is not about product. Really, the only test of these drawings, of these idea shaping drawings, is does it get you a step farther in what you're trying to do? So again, The properties and powers and the draw quad are what make up the case for drawing. The bulk of the book is this middle section, which are the idea shapers themselves. In 2013, I had the great pleasure to give a TEDx talk called Shape Your Thinking. And that talk, in the middle section, I introduced this 5-step model based around your hand. Now, imagine you have some big task you're trying to tackle, and you're looking at a big pile of information. Step number 1, look at that big pile and pull out one relevant chunk of information. Step 2, you take those relative chunks of information you've pulled out and you start sorting them and grouping them by theme or by category. The third step is to connect and contain. So you're drawing lines between and lines around your ideas to show their relationships to each other. The fourth step is scale. That works in 2 ways. One is, are you shifting the canvas you're working on to shift your thinking? And also, what's the relative size of ideas within the drawing into themselves? Now, when you do these first 4 steps, when you chunk and you sort and group, you connect and contain, and you use scale, then you can step back and you can grasp your information in new ways. That grasping, that is where the synthesis happens, where you get those exciting new insights that you wouldn't have gotten had you not sat down and made that drawing. So this 5-step model is the basic holder of 24 specific idea shapers. So let me introduce you to just one. So in the connect and contain step, you will meet the connector. Super simple. You got 2 ideas. What kind of line are you drawing between those 2 things to show their relationship to each other? So every idea shaper starts out with the name, the connector, and an icon, that guy. Next, I talk about basically what that principle is, just as I described. Next, we talk about some of those nuances in the choices you have. What is the color of the line? Is it color-coded? Is there a difference in the weight of the line to show the strength or weakness of the relationship? Perhaps it's a directional relationship. Or it could be that you're using a dotted line to show a possible relationship, or a broken line to describe a disruption. So again, talk about the broad strokes of what the idea shaper is, then go into some of these specific choices you have, and then lastly, every idea shaper ends with the idea shaper at work. Now, in the story of the connector, I tell the story of Sue. Sue is a woman who feels spread thin. She feels like her time isn't her own anymore. So she sits down, she gives herself some time, piece of paper, basic pens, and she makes a map of her social relationships. She puts herself in the center, and then she draws all the different folks, the friends and family and coworkers and different social groups she's part of, around her, and then she uses the connector to describe the quality of each of those relationships. And by sitting down and making that drawing, she gets more clarity around what are the relationships that are strong and she really appreciates. Which are the places of her life that just aren't working for her anymore? Where does she want to make improvements? All those are made with super simple shapes and lines. So that is just one of 24 idea shapers that you'll find in this book right here. So again, that's the bulk of the book. I end on a model called the Image Iceberg. Here's the deal. Most people, when they think of drawing, they're thinking of this little blue quadrant up here, which is drawing to represent. And you think, I can't draw, because you might try to draw my portrait and it looks nothing like me. That's not the kind of drawing we're talking about in this book. And so I use the simple model and say that the tip of the iceberg, that's that representational drawing that freaks everyone out. That's only the tiniest bit of the types of drawing you can be doing. And if you look below the waterline, you will find all the idea shapers. So these are each of the icons for those 24 idea shapers. And the idea is, with these idea shapers, you can do a ton of thinking about relating ideas to each other, using scale, using color, creating layers within a drawing. All this fantastic stuff that, again, puts the power of your thinking into your own hands. So that's the structure of the book. Now next, I'd love to talk about who is the book for. 3 basic reactions to the book. First, you have the folks who are like, oh my God, this is the best thing that ever happened. These are the folks who are visual thinkers. They say, I think in pictures. I love to learn with my hands. Like I mentioned, my friend Larissa, make it a craft project. I can learn it. These are the kinesthetic hands-on learners. These are the visual thinkers. These are the spatial superstars. These are the folks who are like, where has this been all my life? And there's a good chance you're already doing a lot of the stuff in the book, but the book will help you sort of flesh out and refine your practice and build on what you're already doing. And I do think those idea shaper at work stories are going to make you think of a whole lot of other places you could be using drawing as your best thinking tool. The second camp are the folks who are like, there might be something to this. This isn't my comfort zone. This isn't like my happy place, but I think it could be a learning zone. I'm dealing with a lot of complexity. I'm tackling a big problem. It could be learning a new subject. It could be creating a new presentation, or crafting a speech, or writing a book. It could be making a difficult decision. But I know that the tools I'm using right now aren't really helping me see the big picture. It's hard to navigate something that's really complex. So for these folks, you're thinking, this will help stretch my thinking. This will help shift my thinking. For these folks, you're like, this is the way you're already thinking, and you're just building on it. These folks, it's helping them build a new tool set, a new skill set. And then there's these folks. Meh, not my thing. These are the folks who are very text-based, much more auditory learners. The folks who are like, I don't think in pictures. It's not my scene. And you know what? That's A-okay. If this doesn't resonate with you, move on. But I think there are a ton of people who do think more visually, who think spatially, who want these ways of like getting their hands on their ideas to shift their thinking or to build on the ways they already work and work to their strengths. So those are this is who the Idea Shapers is for. These folks, more power to you. Find another book. So, when is the Idea Shapers available? And where can you get it? It's available now on Amazon. So just search for the Idea Shapers on your local Amazon site. There's also details below with the ISBN numbers to take to your local bookseller to help them order the book for you. Please ask your local librarian to add the Idea Shapers to their collection. And for those of you watching this video, buying the book, I'd love to send you a thank you gift. If you email your proof of purchase to yes@theideashapers.com, that's yes@theideashapers.com, I will send you a PDF all about color. So, that is the Idea Shapers. So any questions, please comment below. If you're thinking, I know somebody like this or this, and I want to share this video, please do. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, please subscribe. There's going to be lots more great videos about visual thinking. So in the meantime, please get your copy of the Idea Shapers and learn more. Thank you so much for watching.